what I'm going to talk about. So go like what are the differences between Milvus 2 and Milvus 1, and what is new in the GA release, Milvus 2.0.0, and some of the Milvus 2.0 roadmaps. And Milvus 1.x are the initial Milvus team's first attempt. And yeah, Milvus 1 is a standalone solution for a vector database. And it basically has a processing engine. It's called Nowhere, and that's used in Milvus 2 as well. And we built around it a data persistence, functionalities, and sharding as well as sharding. But it's a single string, a standalone solution, so it doesn't have any of the data consistency features for a distributed system. So it's very difficult to scale. And for a write node, and you can only have one write node, and it's impossible to do high availability with that. And so we came up with Milvus 2.0. It's a cloud native design. We would like to think that. And so we try our best to decouple different components, and especially the computational components and data persistence. So more IO intensive components. And so we have a bunch of coordinators. Those are like the master nodes in Milvus. And we also have worker nodes. So we have query nodes and data nodes and index nodes. And all of those nodes are completely stateless, and they are very lightweight, which makes them like kind of easy to recover. The recovery speed is fast. And because they're completely stateless, and so horizontal scaling is easy as well. And it's easily deployable with Kubernetes, and it has some new features because of the design. It has time travel, and because that is where you can search the Milvus database at a certain timestamp. And also we added hybrid search, which is attribute filtering. So you can filter the data like a select where statement, a filter before search, and many more. You can read about those in the milvus.io/docs, the documentations. And after kind of like 6 months of hard work for the whole community, thank you. And Milvus 2.0-GA is now available. It was available yesterday night, so around like 12 hours ago. And this is the image of all of the contributors. Thank you. And for all of the users that tested Milvus 2.0 RC versions, sorry, it's not really, it wasn't a smooth ride. It was bumpy, but we made it there. And I would like to thank everyone for that. And then I will cover some of the new features from Milvus 2.0.0 here. Okay, so first, now we officially support entity deletion, and Milvus does soft deletion because Milvus is a append-only system. And so Milvus marks the data that's the vectors that are deleted, and immediately they are not searchable. And after a certain period of time, and that time interval is configurable, the compaction node, and you want to scale, change a replica from 1 to 2, and Milvus is going to automatically redistribute all of the segments, the data shards, into evenly to the query nodes, and so you don't have to release and reload again manually. And handoff. So now we support automatic handoff. So that is Milvus shard data into segments, and newly inserted data are in growing segments, and they're not indexed. So searching them is slow. And after the growing segments grow to a certain size, and that is configurable, and Milvus seal the segments and create index. And now, when the segment is sealed, Milvus automatically kind of do a memory swap. So from the growing segments to the sealed segments, and which make search a lot faster, a lot more optimized. And now we have data compaction as well. Compaction does two things. First is for delete, so the actual delete on the hard drive. And second is now if you have a bunch of small segments that are sealed, AKA indexed, Milvus can still save it. So Milvus will collect all of the small segments, small sealed segments, drop the index on those and try to merge them and recreate index. So basically form bigger segments from smaller segments. And because bigger segments benefits more from index performance-wise, and this is gonna optimize the search performance. And okay, embedded etcd. So etcd is a dependency Milvus uses for meta storage, and for this feature is more for the standalone version of Milvus. And before, the standalone Milvus requires a etcd service, and now that's completely embedded into Milvus, so you don't have to manage it yourself. And okay, and we're also working on local data storage, so mini IO, that's coming very soon in the next small release, I think. And also multi-language SDKs are finally ready. Now we have Python, PyMilvus, Node.js, Java, and Go. And what else? And Milvus Kubernetes operator is now ready. It's, in my opinion, is easier to configure Milvus this way. And there are also newly added tools such as Milvus 2. That was the previous Milvus Insight. It does similar things. And we need to thank Zillis for contributing this, this management tool. And we also have Milvus CLI. Show you kind of like what a tool looks like. It's like here. It's like a management tool. You can see all of the stats, system stats, and you can even like here, like how many replicas you have, and you can conduct a search here. And it's very cool to use, easy to use. And what else? Is going to do. And first, because Milvus already supports attribute filtering, but it doesn't support string type data for now. And that's going to be available. We're targeting Milvus 2.1 for this feature. And that's for more like functionality wise. And the next is in-memory replica. So this is a bit tricky. So for now, one segment can only appear in Milvus memory once, which means that when doing a query, one segment can only appear in one query node, which makes if one of the query node fails, that the segment that's stored in that one query node is not available, and you have to assign the segments. In Milvus 2.1, we're looking to support having a segment replica in a Milvus server, which means that one segment can be loaded into two query nodes at the same time, or two or more query nodes at the same time. So if, say, one query node fails, and Milvus can just switch to another query node that's loaded with the same segment, well, this is going to make failure recovery very, very fast, and probably not even noticeable on the user end. And also, this is going to enable real parallel search. So you can have scale the system, like sky's the limit, basically. So makes we're kind of like targeting tens of thousands of QPS with this feature. It's gonna make that possible. And also we're gonna support compiling Milvus chips. And lastly, we're looking to have an embedded PyMilvus. So now for a standalone Python, you need to install PyMilvus and start a standalone Milvus server on the side. For Milvus 2.1, we're looking to embed the Milvus into the PyMilvus library. So you just need to pip install Milvus, and you're done. And that's gonna really be helpful for fast POC. And for Milvus 2.1, we were working on stability issues. We've been working on stability issues throughout the RC versions, and now we're gonna be more focusing on performance enhancements. And we're targeting for one search, Milvus overhead. The Milvus overhead, we're gonna keep that under 10 milliseconds by the release of Milvus 2.1. And Milvus 2.1 is scheduled. We're targeting beginning of April. That's the timeline. Okay, so for the community, or to have the best, bug-free software is impossible, but we can always have a great community. And we always work on, provide the best, support and Milvus contributor and Milvus committer and maybe a Milvus maintainer. And as the more you contribute, the higher the ladder you climb, and program, and that program is running. So if you're looking to contribute, come talk to me, and we're gonna have a mentor like assisting you, like learning Milvus, how does it work. And also we're gonna have a document for this, and this is gonna be available in 3 weeks, right after the Chinese New Year. So that's about it. So do we have any questions? Are there any questions? Okay, I see chat. Okay. Stop share. Okay, is there any question?
Actually, I have a question about Milvus Kubernetes operator.
Okay.
And which is it different from Helm support? Yeah.
Yeah. Configurations are gonna be easier to be done in operator. So in Helm, the things that that's configurable are basically what we put in the values.yaml, and for Milvus operator, more are available there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anything else about the presentation, or call that a presentation, or family question, or you can type if you don't want to talk, that's fine.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
The mentorship thing you just talked about.
Yes.
When will it start?
So a good place to start. Wait, let me share my screen. So here are some like good first issues you can start with, and start looking at them. And also here are some of the design docs. Here are some of the design docs. So say basically how Milvus is implemented and some of the like behind the like under the hood designs. And if you're willing to take an issue to fix a bug or basically to add a new feature, if you run into problems and you need assistance, you can come talk to me, and we can set up a like a mentorship relationship basically. Yeah. And in detail, this is gonna the basic rules of the document for that, and we're really looking to kind of to enable like more contributors into contributing to the Milvus project. And because the Milvus project is kind of like a bit complicated and a bit difficult to start first, and we're also looking to first enrich the design docs, and we're also gonna have videos, basically how do you set up the environment, how do you debug, and those videos are gonna be available soon too. That's the plan for this quarter. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining, and I will close this session.